Abusuafo bibia akwa abasho kokra edeba Pinax TV so ene da yedi ehemu de wo se wu sensem yekoso e wo Ghana ha na currently yedi ni nyina ebem na wetin sema eba de Ghana fo nyina ebe kaya se mfie bi etwem we 2 years along the line na eye court se because so ni nyina enfo bia wo se MP for Asen Central Honorable Canadian compare ko hini Agyapong one yeye papa Kwaku Baako case a eba ya ni nyina echi no yendi asem ni na Kwaku Baako edi nkodim a ye bo honorable kasan so catch the class say all signs on radio stations a kwotena kasa nyina na ensem wo kan ye no ontwe ensan ya asem ba ya no anya honorable Kennedy ni lawyers ede any honorable ankasa de ma me no ka say de wo de asem no esan so ekoye appeals court so me no ka say ne judgment aba bontia hwehwemu a eba echuma MP for Asen Central honorable Canadian compare ko hini Agyapong wadi nkunim e wasem mu a details ni nyina e wo na ho a obechechi nsem ne no so adwunche bi aba am for questions bi ogu bisa no obechechi mu e nti asema ebusuafo nyina na akwa aba
menu aba meje so bebre
enti ya beka yensa ene se honorable Canadian compare ko Agyapong ne papa Kwaku Baako ensem etwemu a na nsia no lawyers e de call appeals court no verdict aba bontia HSIS honorable wadi nkunim no krebe ne wa asebi
yes asem no kwewum yes indeed that is the case but main case entirely 100% total vindication and as a total winning for Canadian compare ko Agyapong meet man case no I'll strike the whole bill as a 50% for him and also a 50% for Kwaku Baako because the shares and na case in the corner beginning no some di kind to our previous way no I said say if Agyapong pursues on and he makes his case viable and heard he stands a chance to win the case. And Kwaku Baako too also felt say he has been insulted, his credibility has been insulted, so he was doing everything to redeem that by making sure he's going to strike Agyapong's case down and he's also going to take him on in court. Now see any damages to do a man Agyapong will face next time a similar thing or not. Okay, so this thing was even going on at the point Kwaku Baako didn't send me call court. So the good news which came on at first was that Agyapong and Kwaku Baako they were all opting. Both of their counsel were all opting for an out of court settlement. But in Tiasie and Yejuma, Emma Judge Nika said if both of the parties involved they couldn't reach an amicable settlement, then or no be pass judgment. The judgment or pass or party say 30,000 cedis at Kwaku Baako say as legal fees. So the lawyers eba or the Agyapong court Agyapong the bit also 100,000 Ghana cedis will be as the damages to Agyapong because some of the buyer first now the evidence was not substantiable enough and also they were also almost taxing Agyapong so on now platform called can send now uncle patch over 3 times for the next month or so. I just said no it was a very big blow. Where Agyapong quickly came out to say he was going to fight on and he believes at least the case somewhere something is not right. Judge Anna Odi Asime Ifia Sewa Judge Ifia Sewa no Odi Asem now. She's been an incredible judge because beginning she was the person who was saying that these are 2 huge men in the society and both of them can settle this thing out of court. But because they didn't reach an agreement, now also based on the case Abano or pass a judgment. So pass a judgment first, no. Sanamdi can edit to Jan. The course these were things or toxic in Agyapong say on because at that time the evidence it was not substantial enough. And now Agyapong lawyers say no, the case has been heard too early and the judgment have come out too early. So they seek another redress and they seek another motion in the court of appeal. Basically, almost at the assembly court of appeal. Their main argument was that they want the case to be heard again and they want the whole thing to be gone over again because they believe that somewhere in there, at least, there's some iota of truth for the Agyapong. And also, we shouldn't see it how we are seeing it. Maybe Agyapong can say me, but it was taken out of context. In the court appeals court, Kwaku Baako or P7 Wakase, he's going to fight till the last drop of his blood because he believes Agyapong will lose the case and he believes that somehow or no he even further went on to say certain things which were very damaging and damning. Say Agyapong said empty when he goes to court on Timi Kasa, he said peace. In all of those words, yes, all of those words are very bad words. Oyusia, thank God, sir. Agyapong lawyers came right in time to tell him, you don't come out and defame the defendant like that. You the plaintiff, you don't defame the defendant like that. Ama Kwaku Baako actually saying something na aside. But and just sema e wo ho ne say Kennedy akompre kwa Agyapong. In Semna on any lawyers on the appeals court seeking for a redress and seeking for both counsels to look into the case again. No, Menoka say there's been a winning and there's been a winning spree for Kennedy Agyapong because Agyapong and lawyers and they were looking at the whole thing. They were actually sent 2 pleas to the court of appeal. The first plea was say judgment her leadership judge Judge Ifya Sewa or the bar say Agyapong should pay legal damages of 100,000 and also Agyapong should also pay the damages as the legal fees of Kwaku Baako court sense Kwaku Baako bo court judges lawyers only at the legal fees from 30,000 Agyapong also yes some Agyapong damages of 100,000 essentially say Uncle Pacho. In Seminole Court of Appeal, no, Agyapong lawyers were seeking 2 things. First of all, they need to strike that decision which came on in the first place. Say, your friend is saying, Mark Agyapong intua sikebia.
Oh, judges, any asama babonting.
Agyapong lawyers call appeals court. No, in some of the 2 appeals court in him say. Case near did Diasha Agyapong so on to sika non patch on omu pa appeals court ni say yen train sa nyama ni nyinaa good. And also the second thing was the case no if possible yen bongu and I said they should go on it again. I said they should take another look at the whole case again entirely from the beginning. But the good news and Omko PMO court so share Kwaku Baako and lawyers as they were in the court and Agyapong and lawyers as they were in the court. No, the judge no DSM no eba at ebeka say the good news. Let me start with the bad news. The bad news for Agyapong and they say judge no eka say Agyapong legal fees na your friend is saying yes you own 100,000 that's damages no 100,000 and 30,000 legal fees no and no judge nika say Agyapong should pay half of that money, half, which means Agyapong will be paying around 80,000 cedis or 75,000 cedis, 130 million, let's say almost 60 or 70,000 cedis. Yes. And also second thing na you see on patch or near the no courts no actually says Agyapong man and patch. That is the good thing. Agyapong man and patch. The good news the good news is that the case no entirely again to be hearing both counsels. So Agyapong achao pani at the adene die me no can say in all of those things no yabogua. The only thing that he was taxed at the court today was for Kennedy accompany Agyapong to pay half of that money. Now, half of that money in Chimu, but answer and be our question.
Okay, kasa say almost say betu asem no foforo na asem be di ne foforo ahyase ni bibia na eba ne say na asem eba be di ne foforo no ye money to half payment and I say sika na ye share the so onto half if so ye ba be di asem ne foforo no mu di asem ni wie na after we di asem no verdict se be out na ebe hu say o tua ka na na say o jai tua.
Yes, you are a very intelligent person and this question is actually intelligent because this was the same objection that Agyapong lawyers raised against this particular motion in court. Now listen very well. Asemno judge no ebuse asemna ekoso almost take a look at it. At this time, no, they've not come out with a verdict because asemna ko appeals court. And once the thing is at appeals court, yanka say Agyapong some of the back appeals court ya bogu and any valid no ya bogu any valid. Once almost fast verdict in back out no Agyapong yen cast a verdict na about Agyapong ko trace kebi and say in some no kind you so okay see you are guilty of whatever they are told. So I don't know if you understand me. Basically, let's look at it from this angle. Yes, Agyapong lose case uncle patch or no nyade. But Agyapong they are seminal appeals court. Or the appeals court no aka say in 7 year DNA they did ba say yes case yes to us you better aso. Ye beto aso inti ye beto aso no ye nyan ma judgment say judgment o mo ma wo ho say asem na o de kan o kan no we are guilty what you say eno ye my final verdict ye my final verdict ye ntimi nka say because final verdict in the betcher say assembly you are guilty, so pay the damages and also pay the legal fees of Kennedy Akompre Japan. Do you get what I'm saying? Yes. So these were of Kwaku Baako. So these were the objection of Kennedy Japan lawyers. They were arguing. They raised the motion. Say, in fact, Judge Nika said, why won't Kennedy Japan and the lawyers just pay the money? Why wouldn't they just pay the money? No patch up. What I say, because I'm not boasting. I can pay 100,000 Ghana cedis because I work. What I say. So you see, Honorable King Japan, 100,000 Ghana cedis is a migi, and I say, what I say. But King Japan lawyers argued, say Sisia no could 100,000 Ghana cedis. Esa could legal fees of 30,000 Ghana cedis. Na case near the aqua appeal, the banner King Japan winia, or yeah, then
and no, so your question, Frank, maybe bisa.
And no, the King Japan. Yes, and no, the King Japan besan courts, King Japan besan de Kwaku Baako courts or Kojini. It will be a whole lot of banter and forth. What must say? So what both parties and the court said was that, okay, fine, since you guys are saying it and the final verdict can be decided now because Assembly at the Bar Appeals Court and you will be continuing the case again. No, we want you to pay half of that 100,000. That is the damages at the Boer court. So King Japan be paying half of that 100,000, which is 50,000 Ghana cedi plus legal fees at Kwaku Baako. We see here and as I say during all of this discourse 30,000 or basically so okay 50 any 30 niboma it clearly gives you 80,000 Ghana cedis. So basically that's just like let's say half, and now if you are one third of a year damages said they in Japan, he's almost paid. But the main thing here is not about the money. The main thing here is about the fact that King Japan was guilty, and as an amount for perpetuity say he was guilty, and also the main fact here now King Japan and patch. That is the main thing. Or be patch or and seminal kind one can that is a very big statement, and that is something that and no yeah it being okay I didn't know yeah in the 1 year, but the money aspect in the year Rebecca say 10% square with you. Well, I agree with you with you, but the good news is that the case is still ongoing, and right now no you see the Biameka say usually no unyobi kwa at the second round you come out tougher and harder. That is why this particular election is John Dramani Mahama and between Akufo-Addo and John Dramani Mahama. Mahama is doing everything and he has come back harder. He is not complacent at first, and at 2016 he was taking things for granted. So in the case of King Japan and Kwaku Baako, now King Japan have gone back and come back harder. As you see, and making sure say his case is up to, his argument is up to, his evidence is up to, he's doing everything because he too, his credibility is at stake. And the good news
also
here, yes, the good news here is that a child partners are Uncle Patron retracting a trim. He paid the fees, and another good news which is there is that case now you feels about it now baby yes I'm twice. In other case, you have said the whole thing as if for. So this is where the whole thing is going now. I can see said now the wind is turning in favor of Kennedy Akompre Japan. Yeah.
With asem no yedi asem we ye trouble ma honorable Kennedy and yes nka won patch on dade. Besi in I check akron patch na time being that so na or the call appeal court into na sa na money in ujaye no.
Oh, it's so simple like this. For example, ABR one okay, and then you guys divorce, but then divorce here, no, you are of the view say for the past 12 years, and time I would shine now he was not really that kind of person he was. So I mean any business is near Japan and grew at least so divorce per obiani viewpoint at least also a mobi bia and we do kakra be yentimi divorce so a single room bia e malam. So you have the view say you need at least 40 or 50% of the property now in some no the court na ebia court eka say asem ye diama na okunu esan de kwa appeals court na appeals court san so asem ni mu a obligation na okunu was say ABI the manifest almost 50% of the property. He's no more obliged to do that.
Oh, okay.
What am I say? Because assembly the court first, what the assembly court first. So they told you say you are indeed as somehow they are bound indeed court need to say no. As somehow can would be no. First of all, 50% of ukunu property in the bema. But ukunu can say they be. Or no ukunu argument I know making and say Oshia no before Bishia now he's already started his thing already. And even that time, all you you guys were not even staying apart. So you didn't help him emotionally, physically, and even spiritually. On one brain and BBI. So he will have to decide so more be no more BB. So the call appeals court said judgment are on par. Whatever they've obliged him to do, no, he's not entitled to do that because the case is again being reviewed. So a break in Japan, there is no court, no, appeals court, no, then he's not entitled to go in contrary and to go in line with what the court has suggested because at that time, no, what the assembly appeals court.
Suspension.
And yes, suspension per se. Assembly ye di and acquire se unu bi enya asem.
Ye
die ni aka se pa we a cho na o se dey na wasan dia ko hu opini foforo. It has sent his entirely again. So this was the reason that King Japan unpacked. But let me clarify this. King Japan can apologize. What I say, I've seen him apologizing to a lot of people, even to some NDC folks. Say, "Bra, if you're the BB banner," he feels that those things are not substantial, but he comes out and apologizes. How much more Kwaku Baako DBO say he is one of the renowned journalists he likes. He can actually plead a chopper and yet difficult. And even if he pleads, he will not be the first and last person. But he believes that the case needs to be heard well. And also, he believes that indeed, no, somewhere in there, no, the argument needs to be heard. And he has something on there, which means the same year on called Pacho and go to his because he believes that some of the back court and are defending Hono, some of the Kwaku Baako, at least part of them are true, or perhaps it was taken out of context. Okay.
With a case, yes, I saw a appeal, yes, I'm friend for you. Would you say honorable Canadian lawyers? Oh, my, prepared. Just say they are well prepared. More evidence be as anybody. Yes, I could ask them. Yes, I saw Embe Buntioni and say, I ate a back, no Kwaku Baako, and I still, na yedia say no man. Because the accordia was say,
yes, if you look at this whole thing clearly, you know, King Japan lawyers are really on toe. The same thing for Kwaku Baako. Don't think that Kwaku Baako is just a lenient person or watching how everything unfolds. He's also very much on toe and very much on guard. And what he wants is a retraction and apology for the money
from Kennedy.
He said on countless times, says scanning the man orphanage which that one the meet man can say, I don't know, I don't believe it. Because even one thing which came in the courts, one of the arguments which came, they say, second Japan 830,000 CDC in Kwaku Baako, we need no.
Odibema.
How will retrieving that money be? Because if you are making or they are question investments, be more and be
orphanage for nobody are not
orphanage they in tune chain. Because orphanage, but in tune chain. Orphanage don't checking but share it is kind of the only baby a seeker. It's no second Japan could kunima retrieving that money will be difficult. Yeah, no say another court case. I want to bet me for the next 10 years. You know, it will be a whole waste of time. What am I say? Yes, yeah.
Okay, and it's minimum say dates when you to Ashana say, you see a munya for dates be my say, that we ever be shared the assembly and BBS, but you want to say assembly that's so court.
Yeah, assembly that's so court. And I digress a little bit. Let me answer your question in regards to the fact say purchase a case, you know, yes, both lawyers are on tools, and I believe say King Japan lawyers they are much on guard, and this time around they are not complacent enough. You see, court is not about who has who like they're not semi there. Court looks at the facts and evidences of the things. What I say, and the person who can make your argument better. It's just like debate. It's just like debate. Into debates, no, any across the debate in the campaign, the other man asem no, after a month for some year, into woman asem no talk judges assume year. It will go against you, and if it will go for you. And even if you are able to bring some little bit of evidence, it goes in favor. So these are the key elements which is going to play a huge factor in deciding who the case goes for, whether to go for Kennedy Japan or it to go for Kwaku Baako. I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to be on anybody's side, but I think it's going to be a great turnout for both parties. Perhaps where the whole index is pointing to a King Japan, at least.
That's
to him, not to me. First, when it was going in favor of Kwaku Baako, I said it now it's going in favor of him. I think so if he keeps the pace up, Why not?
But you said say 50-50. So why
it's
do you
50-50, but first make I say it was going in favor of Kwaku Baako. Now it's clearly going in favor of Honorable King Agyapong. And if he keeps the pace up, perhaps it will be good.
Okay, so busanfo we dey date enyamba ye but ni bebe bia no